Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kay, and I'm excited to be joined with a special guest today, Michael Lisi from WolfVision, National Distribution Manager from WolfVision. Michael, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm glad to be with you. Thanks, Gary.
Well, first off, thanks for joining me. I mean, we're kind of in a different world today. You're at home. I'm at home. It's amazing that we're able to do what we do so seamlessly, but it's really not a surprise to you. WolfVision's been in this segment of collaboration for many, many years. I mean, you built the whole Cynap's product line based on this concept of virtual collaboration. Talk about that just for a quick minute before we talk about your VCX conference coming up here in a week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm working from home, but I'm working harder than ever, it feels like. And, this whole situation with COVID has created sort of just a storm of fresh interest, even in everything that WolfVision's been doing, because everyone's trying to figure out, how do I video conference remote participants into what we've been doing in the physical space? And everything looks like it's going to be mixed modal or mixed presence. So you're always going to have people in the room and you're going to have other people outside. And that's what our Cynap family of products, specializes in. It allows you to take everything you're doing in the room. And since we have native integration with all of the web conferencing providers, you can just launch one button and call into not just a Zoom meeting, but Microsoft Teams and BlueJeans and PexSip and Adobe Connect or GoToMeeting. The demand has been sort of flying off the shelves.
I mean, you're kind of like BYOM on steroids, because really what you're doing is, there's this new movement, we could all probably agree, probably jacked up quite a bit recently by the ClickShare conference product line. But what you're doing is quite a bit different than them, because in their case, you don't have the client, right? You don't have the software client. You still need another device. In your case, you have the client. And by the way, you can have all the clients on the Synapse device. So you don't have to do anything other than walk in a room and launch a meeting, but you don't have to have a room dedicated to be a specific room like a Zoom room. And in fact, you're giving the remote participants the exact same collaborative experience, which is the big missing piece, in my opinion, in UCC. It's been the remote participants, all they get is screen sharing for the most part, almost in every meeting they join in, and you're giving them full collaboration. Explain how all that works for people that don't understand your concept of BYOM.
I love it. Thank you. So yes, I think the key thing with BYOM is if everything's being hosted by the laptop that's coming into the meeting room, like there are some vendors where their concept of BYOM is you're bringing your own device and then launching a meeting from that device.
Right.
But it still creates all kinds of technical complications, where what happens when the computer next to you wants to share into that same call? Right. How do we deal with echo and making sure that or some strategies have been, well, let's let that other device also call into the meeting. But if the microphone isn't turned off, now we're creating a shrieking echo.
Yeah,
exactly. So the ideal is that if instead the room technology has everything you need in it, so everything you need for local presentation, so if you want to wirelessly present or turn the system on, control other elements in the room, physically connect, interact, if you do have touch screens, that's great. And now to join in those remote participants, you just also launch the Zoom meeting or the Teams meeting, and they're coming in. But then like you said, we do take it to a whole nother level, because we also allow you to control that whole experience from your own personal device. So you don't have to touch anything else in the room. From your own laptop or your own iPad, you can engage all the controls of that meeting. You can push one button and have it kind of throw your own personal user credentials into the meeting room. So you can walk in any conference room and on the fly, launch your own personal Zoom meeting, for example. Mm-hmm. But then also use your own display as a local viewing monitor as well. So I can see everything going on at the front of the room right here in my hands in case.
Right, but you're also allowing the remote participants to do the exact same thing. Like basically it's as if they're in the room, the way that they're interacting with the Synapse product, correct? Or am I missing something there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, think about it. So they're at home, they've got their laptop, they can see everything going on, but when they want to share content and share screen, that's coming up on our screen now. And if we want to start annotating on it or recording it or doing
and you got two-way annotation, you get collaboration of documents, you get everything all in one. And you do have different levels of this product. Like it's not one Synapse. You have different versions of Synapse. So which version are we talking about here that we're talking about that's sort of like this post-COVID-19 version that gives you that full collaboration?
Yeah. So we actually have 4 products in that Cynap family now. So you have the Cynap Core, and the Cynap Pure Pro.
Hmm.
And all three of those can support web conferencing and be used as an inexpensive or cost-effective add-on to an existing system if you wanted, or
Okay.
as the centerpiece of simple systems. So the Pure Pro, for example, might be a great, I mean, it's the size of a Nook almost. You could add that to an existing system design, and now you can launch web conferences from a
Right.
third-party control system. The Core takes it up a notch when you've got integrated audio as well. And all of them have the wireless presentation sharing, some of the collaborative features, potentially the ability to plug in hardwired connections as well. And then when you go all the way up to the Cynap, then you start picking up things like recording, multi-monitor support for larger displays, streaming, being able to encode, decode streams, or even webcasting. We'll talk about maybe some of these one-button production studios coming out, but sometimes it isn't just synchronous. Like if I want a training room, maybe I'm going to have video conferencing participants coming in. Maybe I'm just going to record something for them to watch later. Maybe I'm going to push out a stream to lots of people at the same time and just webcast it from YouTube Live. That'd be a place for the Cynap. But even the Pure, and we were on the Elmo, the E4 tour, our Pure was in the UCC solution provider because it's a wireless presentation receiver, and that's primarily what it is. But you can connect it to an existing video conferencing system or to a web conferencing system and be able to wirelessly share now into those meetings, whereas it wasn't always easy to do that in the past.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, if they haven't looked at WolfVision in the last 10 years, think of you as the big inventor of the document camera, but the Synapse product is really kind of unique in that it sits by itself in its category. I'd highly encourage you to check it out. Go to wolfvision.com. And one of the ways you're using it is this conference that you have, I believe, next Monday, the 15th of June, called the VCX Conference. You can go check that out at vcxconference.com. Talk about that because you're only 6 or 7 days away from it now. You're going to actually use your own product while putting on a UCC conference yourself.
Yeah, so this is pretty exciting. The VCX, it's not just about WolfVision. I mean, we realize through some of these panel discussions we've been doing and webinars and such, there are so many big questions just burning in the industry right now about how do we go on. And so we felt one of the best things we could do is just create this sort of collaborative discussion or this environment. So we've invited, a lot of the top minds in Pro AV, both business leaders as well as the thought leaders that cover so many of these various areas of interest, to have panel discussions and interviews about just this wide range of topics that may or may not have anything to do with WolfVision, but they definitely affect all of us. And so on the one hand, we're powering a collaboration event like that, and we invite people to register. It's free. It's going to be amazing. And then, but also as part of that tour, you'll be able to actually explore how WolfVision solutions are creating collaboration experiences for our customers, right? Both in the universities and in corporate applications. So there's going to be a lot of other supplemental content that while you're there in between the live events, if you want to, we've got like a napkin CAD station, we've got virtual booth tours. You can actually, see a fully immersive exhibit of our booth with all of our technologies showcased and videos that kind of explain what's going on. And also you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one meeting with us, and we'll take you through a personal tour of the booth. So there's a lot of ways to learn about what WolfVision is doing from that VCX event for sure.
Yeah, so you should register at vcxconference.com. I'll see you there as well. And Michael, check it and make sure we should definitely tell people to check out the Synapse product at wolfvision.com. You probably, if they've been to Almo's events, you've been to a lot of the dealer events lately. I've seen you there at a lot of these events. We're no longer traveling anymore because this is the way of the world right now. But I appreciate you joining me today, and I definitely want to encourage people to check it out at wolfvision.com. Michael, thank you very much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Keep up the good work.
And thank you. And of course, you can see all of our coverage at raypubs.com and check out WolfVision at wolfvision.com.